Alright, so you want to know how to get the Air Jordan 1 Low Travis Scott Black Phantom, right? You in the right place. And I'm going to show you how anybody can get them in this video. Alright, now this shoe for sure rivals the Lost and Found as the shoe of the year. So you know I had to make a guide. I had to tell y'all exactly how you can have them on your doorstep in your hand. And I want to make sure you know every way that you can do it. I'm going to also be live streaming a live cop for that drop. So make sure you're in attendance. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright, so the best way to tell the future is the past, right? And in the past, all we have to go off is really, we got the Jordan 1 fragments, and then we got the Jordan 1 Travis reverse mocha, and both of those retail for $150, so we can kind of expect this shoe to retail for the exact same amount. Now, with such a low retail on this shoe, the demand is crazy, as we expect all the time for a Travis. It's something I want y'all to be hip to. It's not just the sneaker world that wants this shoe. There are a lot of investors who are looking at this shoe, and that's simply because, bro, when you peek out at the resale market, you can see that this shoe right now is almost 3 racks in the resale market. But probably when it comes out, it's probably gonna slide down, I'd say anywhere from $1,100 to $1,400. And once again, this means that they are gonna be very difficult to cop. Let's jump into the best way that most of us have to cop this shoe. So our best chance is actually gonna be the Snkrs app, right? That's because there's a rumored 200K stock, right? And so in a situation like this, we never know exact stock numbers until they come out. However, we can always use history and logic to kind of tell. So with a 200K stock, maybe on the Travis Scott website, which he does drop them on his website, they're probably gonna be 20 to 50 there, and then there's probably gonna be maybe 100 on Nike, and then there's gonna be another 50 kind of sprinkled amongst certain little shops, which we're gonna get into in the end. But the reason why I say Snkrs account, because that's where the most stock is gonna be, at least in my opinion, and that's where the average person like me and you has the better chance of copping. Now, 200K pairs, that's the biggest Travis run to date as far as stock numbers. However, one thing that we've learned over the course of these last few weeks is stock numbers is the least important number when it comes to the equation of figuring out the chance that we have. The real number is the demand. So if this shoe has as many people going for it as the Lost and Founds, which I was told an estimate of 5 to 8 million people, that's gonna leave each account with about a 5 to 2% chance of probability on hitting on Snkrs. I've been preaching, use several Nike accounts. Now, bot protection is working overtime. Nike even released a statement about bot protection, and I know a lot of people were saying that they could not even enter on the Lost and Founds. If you were getting just that spinning thing, 9 times out of 10 is because you were being filtered out as a bot in Nike's system, which we're gonna talk about later in this video. But you wanna run as many accounts as possible, you know, even offer some of your friends, hey bro, if you're not going for this sneaker, if you hit, I'll pay you $100 over, or whatever the case may be, because as we said in the beginning, you're going to be able to profit immensely from this shoe. Now here's one thing I want you to know that probably got you stuck last time when you were going for the Lost and Founds. If you're going for this shoe and you're using the same credit card as somebody else or another account, then you're probably going to get filtered out. So on these different accounts, you're definitely going to need different payment methods. You also should be on different IP addresses. So in this case, what you need to do is, if you have multiple devices, right, have one of them on your Wi-Fi, have one of them on its own cellular data network, right? So if it's your cell phone, don't have it connected to Wi-Fi, and run one account on your computer, one on your phone. That way you don't get filtered out. I know a lot of people don't want to get into it. I know this is intimidating for a lot of people, but it's really not as hard as it seems, and it kind of sounds like sneaker bot talk, but it actually isn't. You can sort of manually enter several accounts using different proxies, which I have a video explaining proxies, but proxies are basically IP addresses, different identities we can say for your accounts, so that once again, you don't get filtered as all one person. Also, addresses, right? The only thing worse than being filtered out as a bot and not even being able to enter is winning and then having your order canceled because they said, okay, yeah, 2 of these are going to the same address. So jigging your address, that's just the process of altering your address so that Nike's bot protection system does not recognize it. I also have a video where I go deeper in depth on that. Now I want to talk to you about payment methods, right? Because once again, that's another thing. I think in 2022, most people have several bank accounts, but if you don't, it's okay. Use your Cash App card, use your bank card, right? Maybe use your homie's card, give him the money and let him preload it on his ATM the day before. Make sure you can trust this homie, of course. You definitely need good valid payment methods in order for Nike to go ahead and say, okay, this person is not a bot. Now here's what I want to tell my people who say, you know what, I'd rather just go with my one account. Do you have any tips for me? And I definitely do. The last big release, bro, once again was Lost and Found. There was a lot of demand for that shoe, and once again, a lot of people's accounts got filtered out. Now some people believe that warming your accounts by making them do human things works, and then there's literally other people who have data to prove it though, and that's why ideologies kind of get crazy when you get into sneaker reselling, because there's somebody that can show you, hey, I started warming my accounts and they're all hitting, and then there's literally somebody who just told me, bro, once I stopped warming, I started hitting, right? That's the basic idea of you being considered a bot, because you're never on the app, you're only going for releases, and they don't see a lot of human activity with your account. So one thing I always suggest people to do is, outside of shop with Nike on a regular, if you have a Nike store, it doesn't even have to be an official store. It can be an outlet, it can be online, wherever you can get credit and it be logged that you shopped with Nike. Man, go buy a pair of socks, go buy a shirt, because the people around me that I know that always hit, even on their singular one like main manual account, these people also happen to shop at Nike, right? So that's definitely human activity. Also, when the release loads in sneakers, the notify me button, right? Because once again, you don't want to look like a bot. And how often do you think people who run bots, who run hundreds and thousands of accounts, go in on each of them and hit notify me and things like that? You see what I'm saying? So these are things that you can do on your account that make you look less like a bot. Like, one thing I paid attention to today is if you hit notify me on the cherries, Nike sent out a notification that I personally never seen them send, and what it said was, hey, this shoe comes out this Saturday, log in, make sure your account is good before release date comes. Now to me, because that's so random, that means something. They're doing something protection, and I promise you, if you do bot, I challenge you on this video right now, if you hit on an account that you didn't at least acknowledge that notification for, tell me please, because I believe that they're trying to differentiate who's a bot and who's not. So Snkrs app is definitely the best place that an average person can look up and come up on the Travis's, right? Now let's briefly talk about the release on the Travis Scott website. So Travis actually used to do first come first serve on his website. However, SneakerBot completely ruined that to where he started to kind of do draws as well. So it's still kind of heavily botted, but you still have a chance to hit on there. It's not first come first serve over there. And so I'm also expecting not as much stock as Snkrs, but I'm also expecting the next best amount of stock to be on the Travis website, right? So the only thing that you can do there, right, is sort of the same strategy as Snkrs. Get as many entries in as possible. Now, it's a little bit more complicated. It's actually more simple, but I think that is going to be difficult because there's going to be almost the same amount of people going for even less stock, right? So those chances, I believe, are going to go down from 5 to 2% to maybe 1% as far as who gets those sneakers. So once again, the best thing that you can do, enter in the draw, get as many accounts in as you can, and hope for the best. Now, also, there's places like Bodega, Kith, all these Shopify stores are gonna have confirmed that they are gonna drop these, and they are gonna have raffles. So there's gonna be over 10 online raffles from different, just smaller sneaker shops that are gonna have this shoe. You gotta join my Discord, you gotta get subscribed to stay notified on all of that. But man, this is gonna be a crazy release, man. Rico gang, tell me what y'all think. Let me know in the comments if you've ever even seen a pair of Travis Scotts with your own two eyes. So man, it's your boy Rico gang, I love y'all, bro. Let's get it.